Make $11,000 this month with wholesale real estate. Make $11,000 this month with wholesale real estate. All right, what's going on? Welcome back. This is Ola coming to you live from myEmpirePRO studios. We're talking about making $11,000 this month. Can you make $11,000 this month? Absolutely. It just all depends on how aggressive you want to be with this stuff, okay? But absolutely, you can make $11,000 this month. But first thing first, what are we talking about? We're talking about wholesale real estate, okay? And I don't know if you saw, there's another video that I did on the news of the moratorium that's basically expiring. Basically it was the program that the government put in place after the whole thing that's happened over the past 2 years. You know, the government, in an attempt to try to bail people out and stuff like that, they've been doing that, obviously. They put some program in place that basically put a halt on foreclosures, evictions, and the obligations that goes with the need for real estate, right, as a utility for every human being, right? So, and the truth of the matter is that right now there's they've lifted those moratoriums, and over the next several months you will see a lot of foreclosures starting to kick back in, evictions, stuff like that. So evictions and foreclosures are not good for real estate investors, okay, but they are good for real estate deal sources, okay. So if you're an investor and you're holding on to a property, last thing you want is, you don't want your tenant to not be making their payments. But before I dive in too much further into that, what is wholesale real estate? Wholesale real estate is the art and science of finding deeply discounted properties, locking up under a purchase contract, which means you write up a contract to say, I like your property, it's worth $100,000. I didn't talk to them about that, right? But I can see it's worth $100,000. It needs some repairs. It needs $20,000 of repairs. 65% of $100,000, 65% is $65,000 minus the estimated repair cost. It doesn't have to be perfect, just estimate. $20,000, $45,000. Would you accept $40,000 for that house? And they say, I don't know. What about 45? I think I'll let it go for 45. It needs work. I don't have the time for it. Blah blah blah. You write up the contract for $45,000, right? You turn around, you connect with the cash buyers in the market. You can find access to all of the cash buyers with EmpireBigData.com. All of the real estate data that you need is in there, right? You connect with them. You say, I got a deal. I just need 55 for it. That means you're about to make $10,000, right? You marked it up a little bit. You marked up the price for the contract. You're assigning the contract to another person to purchase the deal. They pay you $10,000. They pay the homeowner $45,000. Everyone is happy, including yourself. And you didn't touch the property. You didn't have to see the property ever, right? That's wholesale real estate, right? You can do that and you can make $10,000 like that. Okay, you could have made $15,000. My highest I've made thus far is $82,000 doing this, right? Now, the good thing about this is that it's not just foreclosures, it's not just pre-foreclosures, it's also vacant properties, right? There's vacant properties, there's non-owner occupied, there's something we call liens against the property, right? The property could have liens against it, right? There's also, let me tell you a couple of things that could be wrong. The property is too old. The property needs to be demolished. It's fire damages, right? The property is not the most desirable on the block, right? The property is empty, vacant, meaning it's not producing, right? When the property is not producing, that's when you say that the property is distressed, okay? So the owner could be distressed, the property could be distressed. It's distressed ownership, essentially. And sometimes people just need to get rid of a piece of property, okay? And that's how you can make $11,000 this month. Depends on how aggressive you are. Like, let's say you go through the masterclass and you start taking action, boom, 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 and you start getting out some campaign. Yes, you can make $11,000 this month. Let's say you go to the masterclass, then you wait another 6 months before you take the next step. Then you cannot make $11,000 this month. And then there's life happens, and there's all kinds of in between. There's also your potential, your personal background. I don't know where you're coming from, right? So there's no guarantees here. But people are doing this every single day of the week. All right. Some people are doing it virtually. They're doing it from the UK, from the Europe. Some people have employees in Philippines. I'm one of them, right? That are helping them. That literally hands off. They don't have to touch anything. They just have to show up and just talk. Right? I'm talking about myself, right? You get the point, right? But you can. It's about, do you have enough will to get going? Can this make a difference in your life? What if you could do that a few times in a month? In any given month, where you can do that over and over and over again. What if you could set up a few things in place? See, the one thing that people get wrong with any of this kind of stuff is that, what if I can't and you can? Well, it's not about the individuals if you're doing the right thing. As a matter of fact, I've seen people that failed hopefully in this business because they thought it was about them. They closed a few deals. They think they're feeling like macho, they're feeling good about themselves, but they didn't have a system in place. And one thing about systems in any society is you buy into systems because it's consistent. Okay, I don't care if you're talking about legal systems. I don't care if you're talking about financial systems. Why they are systems? Because of the consistency. And the one thing that all of us as human beings that we're incapable of is consistency. Okay, we do know how to commit, but then commitment is going to be tested, and we feel like that all the time because of lack of consistency, because we're just humans. Okay, we get bored. We want certainty, but we want variety, all of this kind of stuff. But when you put a system in place, all right, when you put a system in place, it doesn't care about your feelings. Once you set go and you turn it on, it keeps running, and then you keep sending data, send contacts, leads, right? You're sending these things through the system, and then just like you're looking at right here, it's a pipeline. It's a system that works 100% of the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? It works 100% of the time because it's not human, and that's what I'm talking about here. And if you want more information about that, you can see all of the information on the screen right now. You can also go in the description box below and take advantage of what we have available for you in there. But yes, over this next month, you can absolutely make $11,000 this month. Before this month runs to an end, you can. It's just a matter of, are you going to make a move, or we're just going to keep getting entertained or not? Trust me, we do these videos because we understand it needs some entertainment feel to it too. But obviously my best students are not here because they're being entertained. They're here because they want to implement this information and take advantage of what's available here.